All right, welcome back to the channel. So today I got a special treat for you. I got solar panels out here on the solar shed that you've all seen. And one of the things that I struggle with is there's a lot of humidity here in Florida along these solar panels over here and up here. So every morning these are covered with dew. And of course I got a huge breeze coming in off the ocean here, and it picks up all the sand and attaches it to this, so they're all gritty and grainy. So what I'm going to do today is I've also got another recorder running on the laptop, and it is sitting in the shed recording the solar production from both the RV panels for a baseline and the solar shed panels for here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record both of them and run them in parallel and split screen this for you so you can watch what happens when we do this. Now first I need that bucket that's over there. So I'm going to walk back over there and get that bucket because I can't wash the panels very well without the wash. So let me walk back around here, grab this bucket. Now, I'd like to hear your opinion on doing more these type of videos where you're actually seeing how the sausage is made as opposed to just reviewing it afterwards. I've heard multiple people talk about it in different ways, and they all have different things to say about it. So I'm okay with either one. I kind of like doing a little bit of mix of both. Whenever it's appropriate, do one, and whenever it's appropriate, do the other. So we are looking at, and I'm going to mention the time a few times so I can sync up the two videos. It's 12:06, and I'm just going to start. I'm going to fill this bucket with water before I get started. I kind of suspect that as soon as I hit these panels with water, there's going to be a bit of a surge in the production, and then what we'll have to do is we'll have to wash them, and then afterwards let them heat back up and see how they're producing. I'm not going to go greatly into all the stats afterwards, but I'll let you make some of your own conclusions there. But it should be pretty instrumental and pretty fun to see the results. All right, so here we go. I'm going to rinse these off first of all, just get them all good and wet. Now, then I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to wipe off some of this. It seems to stick pretty good. I mean, it's almost like pasted on. So you have to give it a little bit of a rub, which is what I'm doing here. Don't necessarily need soap or anything or any real abrasives, but you need enough to knock loose all the sand. And then what I usually do is follow that up with immediately come behind and just squeegee it off. Now, sometimes I use a ladder to get the angle on this right, but I think I can do it without it. Let's see, squeegee is not really working that well today, is it? All right, so we may have to go to a different method. Squeegee's not working great today, so we'll wash it, then we'll do another rinse just to get all the dirt off, and we'll leave it to dry. All right, then we'll rinse this one, and we're going to wash all the dirt off. Knock it all loose anyway. Hopefully get it all up there. And rinse it off. Now, these are just the top two panels, so those 4 panels, these are 4 in series. So since they're 4 in series, you won't see a great increase yet until I do the other side, which I'll do after this. I'll do the same thing over here. See if I can knock off all these loose, all this dirt that's attached to each of the panels. And I'll rinse them off. There we go. And I'm going to move the hoses and the buckets. We'll do this again from the other side. Had a lot of fun with the solar shed. I like the RV and the traveling and all of that goes on, but it's good to have a fixed spot. This place is nice enough to allow me to put up a shed, keep a little bit more of a permanent location here between trips. We do a lot of coffee shows and that kind of stuff, so you'll see probably seen some videos of my coffee trays too. I should do the top first, shouldn't I? We'll do the top. I hope you guys can still see me over there. You know what, I should probably move that camera. I'll do that while I'm thinking about it before I do all this and come to find out you didn't get to see anything except me talking from behind the shed. All right, here we go. Put this over here. Turn that up just a little bit so you can see it. And I'll zoom in a little bit too. There we go. All right, so the idea here is same as the other side. Get rid of loose all that grime that just gets attached. The wind just carries it in, and it's like in your car when you do every morning, you end up with this film on there. Now there you have windshield wipers. You can knock it all off pretty easily. The solar panels, fortunately, these are not on top of my RV. I'm afraid to know what those up there look like. This will give me an idea if it's even worth going up to take a look at them. And then we're going to rinse these off. And this will complete that series of those 4 panels, the primary 4 panels off the top of the roof. If I can get a little bit more hose here. There we go. Get all this rinsed off here. All right. Then we go to the side ones here. Let's do a good quick rinse. These are not real bad today. A lot of the times in the January and February months, it was really bad out here. I mean, everything was getting attached quite consistently. It was very difficult to keep them clean, but I never actually tracked how as you can see, it's such a quick process from doing it from the shed like this. It's not on a roof anywhere, that it was easy enough for me to just do it like this every couple days or once a week or whatever I was in the mood. Now, the ones in the back are a little bit more different. I don't have a hose back there, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wash them and then throw the bucket off on them and see if that's how I normally do it for these, and it seems to make them nice and clean. They don't seem to attract as much being on this backside. I don't know. I say that they're very dirty today, though. Maybe even dirtier than the other panels. Occasionally, you get birds come by, bird bomb you. Being here on the beach, it does happen more frequently than. There we go. Everything's clean now. So now I'll let the recording run another 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll see if we can get us a pose. See if we can get some stats for how this is going to work. And I'll just pull up the stats at this point in the recording. We can take a look at it. I'm going to walk one more time all the way around here just to make sure it looks like I've got everything clean. The majority of these panels look pretty darn good. I don't see any of that dirt, that overnight dirt that you get when you're after morning dews every day. This looks pretty good. Now we've got to wait for them to warm back up, a little bit of that water to evaporate, and that will put everything back to normal. All right. Looks like we're still recording in the solar generation. I did turn on, if you're wondering why my air conditioners are registering in that solar generation, because I did just record the overall statistics page, and I'll point to a few of those here as I'm editing this. But I did go to those and do a few that type of stuff for the purpose of being able to compare one thing to another. I did turn the air conditioners on full blast to see if I could get enough power to make sure I didn't shut off in the middle of this process. Lately, there's been so much power generation with this new thing that I'm actually, with this new shed, that I've actually got more power than I can use already for this part time of the year, which is crazy. I'm hoping that it's enough for January and December, but this is what it's all about right here. Toying and playing with these things. If there's something you want to see, please let me know in the chat down there. Just say hi. It all helps out a lot. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll continue to make videos here. I know I released another one. I'll link it right here this morning for some information about how voltage works and how I perceive it and what's got me through the years and my understanding of it. It isn't technically, all of it is probably not technically accurate as far as the nitty gritty, but what it does is it gives you an overview of how to do things. And so now we'll let this warm up. You've got the stats here on the screen doing it, and I'll probably cut off the audio and just go back to the basic stats. But anyway, welcome to the channel. If you're a new subscriber, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. We've been growing twofold the last couple of days, and I hope to get some more here very soon. Out on the, if you're not familiar with DIYSolarForums.com, I'm also Matt Man out there. I post a lot of my content out there and chat with those guys out there, and that's a great place to meet people. It's a great place to get solar information, to ask questions and get data. If you can't get it here, then you can always get it there. Anyway, let's get on with the stats, and I'll appreciate you being here, and thanks a lot for coming and joining the channel. All right, I'm back inside now, and I wanted to pull up the stats here and just kind of go through a few of them with you, and I hope I have the screen defined well enough for you to see everything. As you can see here, it was 12:06 when I announced that I was going to do it, and then this has got to be where the water hit. We started our washing, and you immediately see we have gone from very quickly from 960 into over the 1,000 range. As I continue to wash here, we spiked out at 1,060 or so. So there would have been a small slope incline here because we're coming up on solar day, but in a period of 15 minutes, not even 15 minutes, 10 minutes, it would not have been 100 watts. So it does look like it was close to an estimate, 8 to 10% increase, and that is totally a guess. Now that's peak, and you can see here that after I finish, and this is probably me splashing the back right here, or splashing those top ones. You never know also with the Victron equipment, sometimes it does a bounce thing, and you can easily see the ups and downs. It doesn't look like it's recorded a whole lot of those this time, which is nice. But even here, we're at 1,030, 1,040, and it's still on its way up for the day. So I would say that the 1,028 to this 957 is probably more accurate of what the change was. And if I just bring in a calculator, 1,000, let's see what it is. It was 1,000. Let's do that math again. 1,028. Yeah, there's 1,028, which is kind of the low point here after it simmers back down. And here is the low 959. So 959, 1,028 minus 959 equals 69 divided by 1,028. So it was basically 6.7% increase. So it depends on how many panels you have, really, if this is going to be worth it. For me, I'm on the ground. It's an extra 100 watts or, 80 watts. It's pretty simple if I'm in the mood. If I allowed them to continue, and I
can tell you those panels were not that dirty today. So my suspicion is normally it would be a much bigger deal for me. It has not been very dewy in the morning lately, as of late. It's been in the the low 70s instead of the low 50s or the high 50s, which causes that dew point to hit every single night. It's soaking, drenching wet out there, and all that sand and dirt just gets attached. Um, so the I would say that the conclusion that I'm going to have here is that it does help, that it's approximately 6 to 7% with the on average of for my solar shed. Would that be more if those panels were on the roof and the sun was directly on them? Would there be more of a case? Was all of that from the panels just on the top of the shed, or did all the ones on the side have some impact also? I didn't really think about that before I did it, so I may have to run another test at some point in the future and find out. But it is safe to say there was some kind of increase. It was apparent and obvious here in the solar shed. You've got all the other stats that are out there. And I'm just doing this quick review here, and I'm placing it at the end because I got back in and I wanted to look at this before I went through and watched all the stats move around. Anyway, I appreciate your time. Following this conclusion, I will place I'll let the video continue to run until I stop recording, so you're welcome to watch it and see what's going on there. For the most part, though, that was it, and I appreciate you. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot.